Well, we are recording from now on, and let's start the class. Everybody seeing the PowerPoint?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, then. So, we will start today talking about pricing. When you are doing your market compositive in international markets, you have to worry about the pricing and how to price your product, okay? What are the price dynamics? Price is the only component element for marketing that generates profit. All others are costs. Everything linked with marketing, it's cost. The only part of marketing that's not profit, that's not cost, is the price. Like in the four P's, three of the four P's are costs. On the price, it's profit. All other P's, the place of the product, everything else is a cost. The price generates communication with the buyer by providing a basis for judging the attraction of the offer. What it means is the price is the link between the buyer and the seller in a way that provides some parameters that the buyer can judge if the offer is good or not. A good market campaign can make the buyer look and pay attention to the video or the audio or etc. But if the price is not good enough, the buyer will not see the attraction in the offer. What make the buyer decides on the purchase is the price you gives in your offer. Alternatives to the price. Quick evaluation decision of the market is to reach the highest possible revenue in a short period of time. That's one way to work price, okay? In alternatives to the price are three ways that you can work your price in a market campaign. On the first one, quick evaluation decision of the market, it's how's the market right now for the product that you want to sell. So how higher or lower can you go right now thinking about today? Let's think about the situation with the coronavirus. Right now, the prices for masks, N95 masks, surgical masks, plastic gloves, the prices for the products are skyrocketing right now. You're gonna pay 10 times, 20 times the normal price for a surgical mask today. So people who are selling these products today, they are thinking about the quick evaluation decision of the market today to reach the highest possible revenue in the short period of time. Because the situation of the coronavirus will end. When the situation ends, the moment for the sellers to go high prices is going to end also. So they have to do right now and think about only today as how high can I offer a product for the best price I can before the diseases pass on. Okay. Another way, another alternative is market price can be used as a competitor's price. If you don't know how how much you're gonna charge for your product, you can look for your competitor. How your competitors' prices are going in the market. If he's making good sales with his price, you can use the same price for your product. If he's not selling well and people is saying that his price is too high, you can use lower prices. You can use your competitor as a reference for your price, not the market situation. but your competitor situation. And another way to look for price is the penetration price, how the product is offered at a low price with the intention of generation volume sales and reaching high market shares. What it means is you are not looking to make a high profit in one sale. You want your product to be known in that marketing, in that new country, in that new city. So you're gonna use a battle price as lower as you can go without losing money, of course. So the way that your product is gonna sell very fast and in a few period of time, days, weeks, months, everyone will know your product. Then after your product is well known in the marketing, you can start raising your price for upgrade your profit. But until then, you use a penetration price as lower as you can get so you can reach the high market shares as possible. Any questions until now? No?
No.
About the export price, thinking about exportation, the worldwide standard price can be the same price regardless of the buyer if international product or international market costs are irrelevant. What means is if your product and your company it's already international, you don't have to think about local prices. You can make a standard price and the cost of your product in the same coin like dollar. Of course, your product in if I produce my product in dollar and I want to sales in dollar, when it goes to Brazil, the price will be adjusted to Brazilian real. But the basis then the basic price of my product is not going to change in a worldwide standard price. So if I sell for $1, it's going to be $1 everywhere. The if in Brazil real right now it's going crazy and every day the real is going up and up and up, it's not my problem as the seller because that's just uh, exchange rate. For me, it's still $1. It doesn't matter if the Brazilian market pays 4 reais, 5 reais, 10 reais. For me, it's going to still be $1 per product. So when you make a worldwide standard, you do not have to worry about the situations of each country. You have to think about your production costs and your profit and your basic price, and then use that price for everywhere. Another strategy is the differentiate pricing, using different prices for your product based on the market methods in each country. That's the normal situation. In Brazil, we have the dollar crisis, we have the coronavirus crisis, we have the economic crisis. So I have to study my Brazilian marketing to see how higher can I charge for my product in Brazil, regardless of my price in the United States or in Germany or in France. Each country, I make a local study so I can have a differentiated pricing for each country. In this way, my profit margins is going to be different. How much I'm going to profit in the United States is different from how much I'm going to profit. For when I say going to profit, it's from each individual sales. How much I'm going to profit in Brazil, how much I'm going to profit in Germany. So in differentiated market pricing, you're going to make a local study to define which price is going to be best for my product in which country. Export related costs. When we are thinking about the differentiate pricing, when I think about making a study for how much I'm going to charge my product in each country, what you're going to have to see and study and be prepared. Cost of modifying the product for foreign marketings. Do I have to change the box, the carton? Do I have to change the final product, its colors, the format, the material used in the product. What will I have to change in my product to sell in that country? Let's go back to for the backpacks. They are made from cow leather. One company chose to make a study in India. For India, they cannot use cow leather because the cow is sacred there. So they gave the idea to using a fish skin. I do not remember right now which fish, but they think about using a fish skin as a substitute for the cow leather. So how much are the costs for that? Just for the Indian marketing. The operational export costs, employees, market research, additional freight, insurance costs, communication costs, foreign customers, promotional costs abroad. How high is gonna be my local when I say that is local there. How much is gonna be my costs at the destination that I'm gonna sell my product, thinking about the employees and marketing and freight, etc., etc. You have to have this kind of information in the point of your pen. Okay, everyone. Another situation is the costs incurred when entering foreign marketing, about the tariffs, taxes, fees, risks, as I said, a crisis in that country, credit risks, political risks, and risks of dealing with a currency that's not going to be the export domestic currency. When you are in your own country, you have to worry about on your products. The price is gonna be the same price in the same coin everywhere in your country. €1 is €1. It's easy for me and easy for my company to analyze and break down €1 at my costs. But when I'm going to export, I have to think about the euro, the dollar, the real, the pesos, the rupia, the yen, the RMB in China, in Hong Kong. So each coin have a currency situation, a variation. Even if your costs do not change one bit, just because of a exchange fluctuation, like we had in Brazil for the past month, you could rise your profits or rise your losses without without changing anything. It's the same product, the same cost, the same procedure. Everything is the same. The only difference was a exchange rate that changed, and just for that, I was from winning money for to losing money. So you have to think about all the situations that can make a variable for your price. Typical cost cutting methods. How can I cut my costs so I can rise my profits? Adaptation of the product. Sometimes when you adapt, it's not something that will rise your costs. Sometimes it's gonna lower your costs. Depending of the ingredients, of the components, I can use less expensive products for a less for a country that has lower standards. If I'm selling for a third world country in Africa, maybe I can use cheaper materials in my product, and the local market is not gonna feel the difference. They still gonna buy my products regardless of the material that I use. Another way is using new or more economical tax or tariff classifications. Something that I will talk about in the future. It's about the HS code, the harmonizing system. It's the code that every country in the world has to use to classify every product that exists. With that, each country can know, each government can know which product is getting inside my country and how much taxes and tariffs I will get from that product. There is several codes for similar products. Each code has a different tax. Sorry. So each code has a different tax. Sometimes I can use a different code for my normal one, for the one that I usually use. I can change that for a new one that has less taxes to be paid in the country that I'm trying to go. So let's say that in Brazil I sell a baseball ball for $1. In Brazil, I pay 40% of taxes using the code 1111111. If I change just the last one for a 2, 1111112, I can still use that code for a baseball ball, but my taxes will go lower from 40% for 28%, for example. So you have to study the taxes and classifications of your products in each country to know how high are the taxes there for that product, and if there is a similar code classification, harmonizing classification that I can use to lower my costs with taxes. The third way is to assemble it or produce abroad. uh, you give up on producing in your own country, then export to your destination, and you open a new factory in the destination country. When you open a factory there, there is several benefits for, regardless of tax, regardless of suppliers that you can use as a local producer, and you can assemble your product there. In the long run, you are thinking about 5, 10 years in the future. Sometimes it's better to start abroad or open a company there, buy a existing company and use the installations and the personnel for your new product there. Transfer price. Transfer pricing or intra-company pricing is the setting of sales prices between corporation companies. What that means, it's you are not going to look for the price in the marketing. You are going to look in the price that your company and your company's group wanna sell. Let's say Nike. There is Nike Brazil, there is Nike USA, there is Nike Germany, there is Nike South Africa. Each country has a Nike subsidiary. Each country has a company from Nike to administer and control all sales of Nike in that country. Sometimes the order for the pricing in one Nike company comes from another Nike, because sometimes another Nike is going to say, hey, Nike Brazil, from today on, start selling your products for the cost of 10 reais, because we need to raise our sales here in the United States. And if you raise your prices there, it's going to be possible for us to export our products to Brazil and make a balance between our sales, yours and mine. And at the long run, the regulation between our prices is going to make profit for everyone. So sometimes a company from another country of the same group controls or ask you to change your price so the whole market can settle at the same level and for everyone from the group to profit. This means that the transfer price has to be managed in a world characterized by different tax rates, exchange rates, varied government regulations, and other economic and social challenges. When Nike America asks Nike Brazil to change their price, he has to think about all the situations, all the informations, and the details that has to be addressed before that changing the price can be confirmed. Questions? There's two messages. Cheaper substitutes, for example, like leather and some fish skin. Yes, Raul. Think about the backpack. It's you most use cow leather. If I don't know if the fish skin is cheaper, is a cheaper substitute that can be used. Sometimes when you change your material, it's because you needed to, as the cow leather in India. For the group that you chose India, the cow leather has to be changed either way. It doesn't matter if the cost is going to rise or become lower. You have to change your uh, material. You have to change. You have to, because no one in India will buy a leather backpack from cow leather. So you can look for cheaper substitutes to lower your costs, or you can use a better substitute. Your cost is not going to lower, but you think you have a differential to use in that market. Going back. Now we're going to talk about pricing. That was it. Any questions? Any more questions about pricing before I start a new topic? No questions? So let's start a new topic. Marketing research. This new topic is very important for everyone because this new topic is going to help you with your assignment. And as for the assignment, I want all the teams to start the second phase of the project to be delivered to me by May 1st. I'm giving you all the April so you can discuss online, make your research, upgrade your presentations, upgrade your info with everything that we had studied until now. So you will make a new presentation in May, in the first week of May. I believe we will be already back in classes, but if not, God forbid, but if we cannot go back to the classes by the beginning of May, you're gonna make the presentation online, okay? But I believe by the end of April, everything's gonna be solved and everyone is gonna be back in classes. The primary research process. Primary research is conducted to satisfy specific market needs. Company segments. Before I start, let me say something about pricing, about the market research, about everything else. I do not want you to make a real marketing research or a real study for pricing. What I want you, what I want from everyone is using the information, the theoretical information that I gave. I want you to simulate each scenario. So, what I want to present from this assignment, I want to use the argument that my product is going to be cheaper because of that, that, and that. So, I want you to use all information about pricing and using everything that I said, simulate the data, simulate. You can use false information like, I will say that I used a substitute for cow leather, and the substitute is gonna be horse leather, and horse leather is 20% cheaper. I don't know, and neither do you. So you can invent this information. I do not want the information to be precise in the numbers. I want to be precise and correct the analysis of the information, the use of the information. I'm making myself clear. I do not want the numbers. You can invent the numbers. You can make up the numbers. I want you is to use the numbers that you make up for using in the right context for when you present the job in May and by the end of the semester again, the information that you created makes sense with all the theoretical content that I gave you. Okay, everyone? I do not expect you all to make a real research and send emails to suppliers and ask for the prices, etc. I do not want that. I want you to understand the process. If you had the correct prices and the correct information and the correct data, what would you do with that? That's what I want, okay? Any questions about the assignment before I keep going on?
No.
So, companies segment international market based on macro variables, such as per capita income, consumer spending on certain products, categories, etc. Segmentation variables, such as lifestyle, attitude, personality, everything that I already gave you. Last week, I talked about that. Segmentations, lifestyle, personality, attitude, everything that from this segment, I have already told you last week, okay? These informations of segmentation of marketing play an important role in identifying similar consumer groups in different countries. Example of marketing questions. That's the kind of questions that I want you to make in your presentation. And I also want you to provide the answer. Like, let's take the first question. What is the market potential of furniture in Indonesia? Let's say backpack in Indonesia. What's the market potential? Then you're going to say for me in the presentation, the market potential is this and that one because of this and this and this. If you look at the numbers, yeah, you can create the scenario that you want. If you want to create a scenario that your backpack is going to sell well, you can use that. If you want to present to me a scenario that shows that that backpack is not going to work in that country, you can do that. I do not want the data. What I want is for you to use the potential information that you will create in the right way. How much does the typical Nigeria consumer spend on soft drinks? What will happen to the men in Brazil if we raise the price of our products based on the monthly inflation rates? What effect will a new type of package have on nature conservation consumers in Germany, France, and England? When you think about your product, the backpack, you have to think about what kind of study you're gonna simulate. You're gonna think about industrial research or a consumer research. Consumers are often a large group which can be reached through home interviews or approach techniques. If you are thinking about simulating a consumer research, I will need you to prepare a false quiz to be used with that consumer. What's your sex? How old are you? What do you do? I want to simulate a quiz to be used as a consumer research for your product, in this case, the backpack. If you are thinking about consumer research, okay? If you are thinking about industrial research, you do not have to think about the quiz for the final consumer. The total population of industrial users tends to be less numerous and more difficult to reach. Not for the exchange students, but for the other students. Unifor, as long in the course, has several disciplines that it's uh, estágio acompanhado, internship that can be overviewed by the Unifor In these situations, many of the students use your internship to make a study of the company that they are going to be a intern for a semester, like the NUPEX for the COMEX students. In NUPEX, all students, each team receive one real company that they have to study for 6 months. That can be considered industrial research. But if you're gonna using this line, once again, you can and you have to uh, produce your own information, create your own scenario in the way that you want it. The incorporation of those responding to the survey can be quite different, ranging from very solicitous to very limited. And that's for you to be creative. You can create a survey and says in the presentation, uh, we try to ask people on the streets of India about their opinion of backpacks, but they do not want to answer our survey because they were not very solicitous. In India, people are always in a hurry, so it was very difficult for us to try and do that. I want you to be creative, role playing, think, use your creativity, create the scenario that you want to present to me in your presentation. What I'm be looking at, it's the way of the marketing tools, the pricing, the segmentations, the 4Ps, the research, the way that you use your knowledge of marketing. It's what's matter to me, not the real data. Degree of research centralization. The centralizing approach clearly allows the parent to exercise greater control. A coordinated research approach uses an intermediary such as external research agents. And for last, the decentralized approach requires the matrix to delegate future designs and implementation to specific countries. This case is widely used when international market differs significantly. Once again, what I'm trying to say here, you have to think about who's gonna make the research. You're gonna simulate a research made from Brazil to India online. You can say that. Or we ask in Instagram, we make a survey on Facebook. Or you can say we contract a agents in that country to make the survey for us, local survey. We centralize or decentralize our survey. Okay, preparing the survey questionnaire, questions format. How is the questions of your survey going to be made? The structured questions typically allows respondents only a limited number of options. Normally in a survey with structured questions, it's A, B, C, D options. It's like your test. There are structured questions and unstructured or open questions. The same way that I prepare my test to you all, you have to prepare a survey. And I want to see the survey. It's part of of your assignment, not your presentation. You can use the presentation and show a few questions, but I also want to see a full survey questions with your paperwork. Okay? Let's. If anybody says anything, no. People are alive, yes. Direct and indirect questions. Questions regarding income or age can be accepted in different ways in different countries. The research must be sure that the questions are socially acceptable. If you ask a Brazilian how much do they earn per month, you're gonna get a different reply than if you ask a Japanese, if you ask an American. In each country, the social acceptable parameters is going to change. So when you think about your questions, Think about the country that you're gonna ask. Let me create one like, and once again in India. If you ask in your survey, why do Indians do not like uh, products made with cow leather? Option A, because offends your religion. Option B, because it's a silly belief that it's going against the world marketing. If you ask something like that, it's going to be offensive. You have to think about how you're going to ask and which questions you're going to ask. You have to think about the collected behavioral data, the psychographical lifestyle. Remember the segmentation of the cultural variations and more evident in these areas. If you if you want to, you can use a subgroup of the population of the country that you're gonna simulate your market campaign. In a developed country, for example, a suit and tie employee can belong to the middle class, while in a less developed country, the same individual can be part of the upper class. Why is this important? If you are making a survey in Brazil, one moment. If you are making a survey in Brazil, if you are trying to ask your questions only for suit and ties men on the streets, in Brazil, normally people who use suit and ties all day, even on the streets, they have more financial power than the most of the population. But if you do this in United States, it's more normal people from lower classes to have suit and tie every day for their jobs. Okay, even I don't use a suit and a tie every single day. I only use for specific meetings along my week. Even the climate situation. Okay, I want to make a survey only with people who use suit and ties. But you are in Brazil, you are in Fortaleza. If you like, you are in India. It's a very hot country. People do not use that kind of outfit usually every day there, and it's not because of the development or class situation. It's because of the climate of that country. Despite excellent research planning, a poorly chosen and structured instrument will bring bad results. If you make all your assignment well, use all variables, but you present to me a poor survey that it's not measured in the same level as the rest of the assignment, I will get that in account. Okay? It does not matter how experienced or research is an international research activity. A instrument must always be tested in advance. Just another information. In the beginning, I told you that the second assignment and the third assignment it was gonna be 2 points and 3 points. The third one is gonna still be 3 points because that's the max that I can give before the AV3. But the second assignment is going to be about 4 points because all presentations and tests are divided in a different way that I was thinking about. And I have to use the material and the division as the all marketing costs advisors. Okay, so the second assignment is going to be worth more than the third assignment. Okay, questions about that?
No.
Pum, 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 pum. So that's all for today, people. The online classes normally they gonna be faster than normal classes. Let me just stop the recording of the class 1 moment.